Hi everyone, welcome to the video where I will explain to you how you can do the exercise that goes along with the podcast, what to do when you feel stuck. My name is Evelina, I'm a life coach for immigrants. I have a podcast, Empowerment for Immigrants, that's why I'm here. If you have not listened to the podcast yet, you might want to do it before you get started. It will help you understand why we self-sabotage. Now the goal of this exercise is to prove to ourselves that we immigrants are masters at changing, that change is safe, that doesn't kill us, that instead it helps us thrive. This exercise will help you see it clearly. So when you feel stuck, it will help you empower yourself to see yourself as someone who in fact can make changes because you've done it many, many times, even when they were big and scary. So in this exercise, I want to invite you to connect to the past you, the you that has moved here to the US, the one that had the courage to first of all make this decision, that to get on that plane, fly here from your home country, and then adjust yourself to this new culture, new language, new customs, and everything else that came along with your immigrant journey. Remember that during this exercise, you will be increasing your self-awareness. So there will be a shift happening inside of you. And I would strongly suggest that you don't only take your time doing this exercise, but when you finish, you also take time to process it. So please don't plan anything big for the rest of the day. Give yourself space for that inner shift to happen. You will want to take a piece of paper and you will want to draw a table with 4 columns. In the first column, we are going to write the questions. In the next one, you will be answering about you at the age when you came here to the US. In the next column, you will be answering about yourself today. And in the last one, in the column on the right, you're gonna enter all the extras, and I will explain what the extras are as we will go. So as I'm explaining this, I will be giving you some examples from my own life. So first of all, I was 25 when I moved to the US, and now I'm 43 years old. So that's the first thing that we have to get it clear, right? How old you were when you came here. And here are the questions that you will be asking yourself. First of all, where did you live back then and where do you live now? In the first column, I would enter Grand Rapids, Michigan as my past and Sarasota, Florida as my present. Next questions will be about your job. So what did you do on a daily basis? I was an au pair, so I would write that in for my 25-year-old column. And today I'm a life coach, so I would write that in for my 43-year-old part, right? In the extras, I would write all the jobs that I had in between. So I was a photographer / studio manager. I was a housekeeper. I was a dealership inventory manager, digital advertising manager. These are the jobs that I had in between. That's where I would put them. That's where the extra column is for all the extra things you were doing in between. If there are some very, very specific things you can write in there. Now, in the next part, we'll be talking about money. How much money were you making back then? And how much money do you make now? Did your salary change over time? Now, in the extras, that's where you would write how the salary was changing. So at each job, how much were you making? Now, the next question is, what did you do for fun back then and now, right? Back then, I loved hanging out with my Latvian friend. I loved going shopping, spending time in nature, riding my bike, reading. Today, I still love to ride my bike. I still love to spend time in nature. I still love to read, but I also love dancing. And so that's something that I do more of nowadays than I did back then. So I would write that in for sure. I could write in the extras all the things that I did in between that were my kind of hobbies or things I wanted to do, and things that I don't do as much any longer. Things like running spiritual events or doing Zumba, teaching Zumba. The next question is this: what kind of music did you listen to when you were younger, and what kind of music do you listen to now? You can write in a specific genre or bands. Maybe you still enjoy it, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't listen to it at all. For me, I don't almost listen to it at all. One of the bands that I loved when I was 25 was Rammstein, the heavy metal band from Germany. And today, I just don't really listen to music like that anymore. My taste in music has changed quite a bit. As you see, this exercise is not really a rocket science by any means. You see what's happening here, right? So the next part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the questions that you will be answering. So first, let's look at your emotions. What were the top 3 emotions you were experiencing back then? And what are the top 3 emotions that you experience now? This question might be kind of deep, so take your time and really think about it. What was your biggest fear back then? And what is it that you're afraid of now? Whom did you love back then? Whom do you love now? What made you instantly happy back then? And what makes you instantly happy now? Let's think about how did you think about the future? What did you want back then when you were younger? What was your dream? What is it now? What are you dreaming about now? And then also, how did you think about your future when you were younger? Were you full of anxiety or were you excited because you knew that you moved to this new amazing place and your life will be really good from this point forward? What do you think about your future now? Are you excited or do you feel fearful? Now let's think about your home country connection. Whom did you miss the most from your home country? What foods, customs did you miss? And how about now? Is it the same people or are there different people that you miss now? What about foods, customs? Now, in this next exercise, we're gonna do something a little bit different. I will need you to rate your self-confidence, and I want you to rate it from 1 to 10. Okay, we're gonna rate your self-confidence when you were younger, and we're gonna rate it where you are at today. So 1 is where you're just really low, right? You feel like you're no good. Feel like you have much value to give to the world. You have a hard time standing up for yourself. You compare yourself to others a lot, and you always feel like other people are better than you, and you also feel like other people are judging you a lot. So that's 1. 10 is where you feel really great about who you are. You believe in yourself, you believe in your capabilities. You know that you will handle whatever it is that life throws at you because you have done it many, many times and you know that you always find a way. And now let's rate your ability to communicate in English. So we're gonna look at your ability to communicate in English then and now. And let's rate it again from 1 to 10. With 1 being where you just know some basic words. And with 10 being where you can express any idea, you can go back and forth between your native tongue and English really easily. And you don't feel stressed when you're speaking in English. It's kind of just easy. All right, my friend, these were your questions. So the next part of the exercise is a little bit different. You first of all answer these questions for these 2 people, right? For you in the past and you now. And then the next part is where you take a marker, 2 markers. You take 2 markers of different colors and you mark the questions that are answered the same, and then you mark the ones that are answered differently so that you can visually see what are the areas that are different and what are the ones that are the same. Now that you have it clearly, look at the areas that you've changed in. If you have at least one, which I am sure you do, that's your proof that you're capable of changing. And if you have more of them, that's even more proof, right? And it's very, very possible that you have changed a lot because we immigrants have to. We have to adjust. So either there's a part of you that wants to change, and then there's another part of you that's convincing you that you're not that good at changing, and therefore you must remain stuck. I hope you can see clearly now that you can totally change. If you want to change, you can change because you have done it many, many times before and you have done it in different aspects of your life, and it's safe to change. It's okay to change. Now, before you go, I want to give you some thoughts that will help you feel stronger and more confident and more flexible in your life. I'll give you these thoughts, and what I want to encourage you to do is to just listen and choose just 1 or 2 thoughts. Don't choose more. I want for you to choose the thoughts that feel the most believable, the ones that feel like, oh, this is my truth. I either believe this or I can believe it. That's believable for me. All right, so let me read these to you. I am human. I can make mistakes. I don't have to be perfect. I'm learning to be comfortable with change and growth. I am safe in this world. I'm learning to adapt and change. I am changing, and that's okay. There's plenty of space for me to grow and change. I know that I have good qualities. I recognize them in myself. I don't compare myself to anyone else. I am my own person. I can treat myself with kindness and compassion. I can free myself from the past and feel open to exciting changes. I am proud of myself and my achievements. All right, my immigrant friend, I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to hear your feedback, so please feel free to write me a comment. You could also put in the comments a thought that resonated with you the most, so you could claim it as a part of your reality. Please subscribe to this channel, share this video with your immigrant friends, especially send it to that friend that is being really strong, but you know that he or she could use some extra support, because as amazing as this person is, you know that they don't really see it all the way through. And maybe you could help inspire the change for them to see how amazing they truly are. If you are new to me, if you have never seen me, you have never heard my podcast, but you're an immigrant, I want to invite you to check it out. It's called Empowerment for Immigrants. And you can find me on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, all the main channels. And I will make sure to put some links in the comments in this video as well, so you can find this episode, but there's plenty of other ones there too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a wonderful day. I will see you next time.